Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about weathering, erosion, and deposition. We got a preview of this last week, but now we're really going to be diving into what each of these is and how they work together. So, the first thing you're going to do is on slide 2, we're going to watch this video. So, what I need you to do right now is you're going to watch the video, and once you watch the video, then you can move on to slide 3. Weathering, erosion, and deposition. If you were to watch a rock, it would seem that the rock never changes. But when rocks are exposed on the Earth's surface, processes acting on the rock's surface break it down into smaller and smaller pieces called sediment. We cannot always see this process because in some cases it takes a very long time. The process in which rocks are broken down is called weathering. There are two types of weathering, physical and chemical. And one of the assignments that we did last week, you also heard mechanical weathering. Mechanical and physical weathering are the same thing. Physical weathering changes rock without changing its composition, simply breaking the rock into smaller pieces that have the same properties as the original rock. Examples of physical weathering include plant roots wedging into rock, breaking it apart, water freezing in rock cracks and making cracks wider, and rock collisions during landslides and wearing away of rock by wind or water all cause rocks to break down into sediment. Chemical weathering is a process in which the chemical composition of the rock is changed and new substances form. For instance, gases dissolved in water can create weak acids and salts, which act on rock to break it down into new substances. Lichens, a fungus in a symbiotic relationship with algae, which grow on the surface of rocks, produce acids which chemically break rock down. Okay, so now that we know the difference between physical and chemical weathering, we're going to do a Venn diagram. So you have choices on the left that say way of breaking down rock, breaks down rocks into smaller pieces by physical means, and breaking rocks into smaller pieces by a chemical reaction. So you're going to drag and drop these boxes to wherever they fit on the Venn diagram, wherever that may be. Keep in mind you're only using these choices once, so one will be on the physical side, and one will be on the chemical side, and one will apply to both of them, which will be in the middle. However, sediment does not usually stay where it is created by weathering. The process of erosion includes the weathering of rock and the movement of the sediment to other places. When the sediment reaches its final destination, it is deposited and often forms a new layer of sediment, which eventually becomes rock. Below are descriptions of the agents of erosion, or ways that erosion or causes of erosion, responsible for transportation and deposition of sediment to new locations. So if we look to the right, we look at the causes of erosion. So what causes erosion? Wind when it blows, water when it flows, gravity when it pulls, and glaciers when they scrape. For this activity, you're going to drag and drop the method of erosion, which means the process, and what it results in. So you'll look at the different options here. You have river, ocean waves, glaciers, and wind. So if I look at river, rivers usually have moving water. So I look over to my choices on the left. Moving water. So I'll drag that one here because that's the mode. And what does moving water cause with rivers? So you'll look at the pictures and decide which one it is. Oh, here we go. This looks like a result of erosion from moving water. And you'll place it there. So now you'll go through and do the other ones. You have wave action, wind action, and moving ice. All right. I'm going to put these back here so that you guys can use them later. Okay. The last activity you have is a vocabulary card, and it's over erosion. So on the left-hand side, you have examples. You have the boxes that you're going to drag into the vocabulary card. So we're looking for the definition of erosion, how erosion works, examples, and effects. I've already color coded it for you, so you just need to drag and drop it where it belongs. I color coded it so that you can remember what erosion is, not so that it's easy and you can just get the answer, but more so that you remember it, because it's not necessarily a new thing that you've learned. You've learned this before, but it's just to help you remember. So remember that glaciers, moving wind, moving wind and moving water are all examples of erosion. Erosion happens either physically or chemically. Erosion is the breaking and moving of rocks. And then the effects of erosion are new landforms or change in landforms. So you would drag and drop those where they belong. All right, this is your activity for today. If you have any questions, please let me or your teacher, Mr. Silvis know. If you're in another class and you're watching this video, let your teacher know and they will help you out.